Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with the legend Scotty Sutton. Toby Murray run the camera for us. We're at Scott County High School, Sutton Field. Dan Cummins, Slugfest, baseball action. Second game of the day. Scott County getting set to host Ryle Raiders. Ryle's been in this game probably more than anybody that around this area. They seem like they've played in this tournament about 20 times over the past 20 years or so that the tournament's been going on. Ryle comes into the ballgame with a record of 8-10. Scott County comes in with an even record of 8-8. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of the stats for both teams and get set up for a great ball game here. An even better day on the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Back after this.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
At Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to the BirdsNest.Sports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray on the camera. Glad to be bringing you some baseball action tonight. And, Scotty, let's talk about the leading offensive players for both teams.
Well, for Scott County, you got to start with Zane Patton. Just a terrific catcher. Also is a very good pitcher for him. He's a leader of the team. Not overly vocal, but he just does it by example. He's a gap-to-gap kind of guy, hitting .311, so I expect to see big things out of him. Campton Martin at .396, just an outstanding athlete, an unbelievable football player. He'll be in center field, so he's going to have a big game as well, I think. On the Ryle side, you've got to look at Braden Stewart. Not only is he a terrific pitcher with an 0.61 ERA, but he's hitting .368 with 4 home runs, so he's having a heck of a year so far. He's got to be one of the top players in their region.
Yep. And, Scotty, appreciate that. And I want to take a little bit of time before we get started here. I know when you come out here, this field has a special meaning for you. It's named after your dad, Charlie Sutton Field. Let's talk about how special it is for you to come out and be able to – I know you've coached on this field. You've been really involved in this field, now broadcasting from this field. This has to have a special meaning for you every time you come out, doesn't it?
It does. I can remember as a young kid when they decided to name it after Dad. He told me at that time, I'll never forget it, and all the things that he's done, that was the biggest honor he had ever had.
Yep.
So to watch my brother play and then to play on this field, and as you said, to coach, being at Sayre for 20 years and to come back since Scott County was in the district and compete, and then watch Sam play, and to be out here today, every time I drive by, I always look over and see Sutton Field. It's a special feeling.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, I know they're slating a new field, new facilities for Scott County when the new school is built. And, again, that's one of the things hopefully they'll be able to somehow continue to honor your dad. This field, I know it's a county park, and your dad very involved in the county and naming it after him, but pretty much from my perspective, Scott County will always play on Sutton Field. So that's just my 2 cents for what it's worth. And again, I'm glad you joined us here today, and I'm glad everybody on the video is watching and joining us on the internet. Should be a great ball game. Ryle's a pretty good team. They took it on the chin pretty good, 14, I think, to 3 against Somerset. Scott County was able to beat Somerset last night. So up in the air right here, but, I think there's a big difference. Scott County on the mound, they're going with Connor Ramsey. Connor's a 6'1" athlete for Scott County, a junior. He's pitched in 3 games, started 2 of those, has 6 hits, 13 runs allowed, 9 of those earned. His big problem when you look at it, Scotty, is control. He has 15 walks to only 9 strikeouts in a 6.1 innings pitched.
Yeah, it's just inconsistency. He has good stuff. He's got a live arm, and their staff tells me that he's got a terrific breaker. But when you can work ahead on these hitters, then you can throw, you have your whole arsenal as to what you want to throw. But if you're behind, then you've got to put it down the middle, and that's what's caused him trouble this year.
Yeah, he comes in the ball game with a record of 0-2, an ERA of 9.95. So, again, a good opportunity for him here. Ryle struggled in the first game against Somerset. Hopefully, like you say, the key to high school baseball, it's pretty simple to me from the pitching perspective. You have to throw strikes. There's
no doubt. And, both of these teams, right at the 500 level, but they've both had big victories. Scott County upsetting Frederick Douglass, and so that they're capable.
Yep.
But as they always say, momentum in baseball is today's starting pitcher. So we'll see how both do.
So, again, looking at the defensive lineup for Scott County. Scott County in left field, Jackson Saylor. In center field, Campton Martin. Andrew Wilhite's over in right field. In the infield, Aiden Lopez is third. Chase Grigsby at short. Paul Garner at second. Ethan Miracle over at first base. Zane Patton behind the plate, and on the bump, as we just talked about, is Connor Ramsey. Leading off the ball game for the Raiders from Ryle High School is Nathan Reed, the senior center fielder, batting .351. First pitch strike. Can't get off to a better start than that.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. He comes in, pumps a fastball, and now the hitter's got to be ready to see anything.
Count even up at 1-1 here for the Scott County junior on the mound, Connor Ramsey. The batting lineup for Ryle, Nathan Reed, Landon Sawyer, Josh Furtado, Braden Stewart, Jacob Stone, Nathan Belden, TJ Shira, Charles West, Jackson McGinnis, and catching and not batting today is Braden Weiss as the count goes to 1-2.
That last pitch, that was that curveball that we've been told about, and had a nice bite to it.
Correction, the count 2-1, and now it's evened up at 2-2. I'll probably mess that up about 10 times today, so I apologize in advance. Staying alive at 2-2 is the leadoff hitter Nathan Reed for the Raiders from Ryle High School.
Reed did a nice job right there at battling. That was an outstanding pitch on a 2-2 count to come back with a hard fastball down and in. He can't take it because they might get rung up, but he did a nice job of fouling that off.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Ramsey. Curveball high and a little bit and outside, and the count goes to full. And again, we talked about it earlier. You cannot give free passes in high school baseball.
You do, but Reed's doing his job here as a leadoff hitter and battling, taking it to a 3-2 count.
And like they say, the best thing to do is hit it back where it came from. He lines up a nice shot to center field for the first hit of the ball game for the Raiders from Ryle High School. So much for the no-hitter today. But
yeah, that couldn't have been a better at-bat. I mean, he battles to a 3-2 count. Fouls off an outstanding pitch and then right back up the middle. You're already getting that pitcher up into his pitch count just after one at bat, and now he's at first with nobody.
Yep. And that'll bring up Landon Sawyer, the left fielder, a sophomore, hitting .244 on the season. First pitch, outside corner, strike one call. So hitting from the right side is Landon Sawyer. Count evens up at 1-1. Nathan Reed, not too big a lead over there as he's being held on by Ethan Miracle. Scott County pretty much straight up. The center fielder, Campton Martin, playing a little bit in from my perspective. Ground ball past the reach of Aiden Lopez. Back-to-back singles for the Raiders from Ryle High School.
Good effort by the third baseman laying out right there. But, Ryle come out and they're hitting the ball hard. First two guys, solid base hits.
So now batting will be the three-hitter, number 15, the shortstop, Josh Furtado, a junior, batting .220 on the year. And I like those Ryle uniforms from a broadcaster perspective. It's black with white numbers. There's nothing easier to see. He lays down a perfect bunt in front, picked up by the catcher, quickly over to first base for the out. A nice play there by Zane Patton as he flips it over to Ethan Miracle, but the sac bunt does its job.
Yeah, and Mike, I think that play right there by Ryle just screams we have all the faith in the world in our pitcher, because when you get the first two guys on in the first inning and your three hitters up and you're still going to bunt him, they're just hoping to get a couple runs and ride him the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, they're feeling like they only need one or two.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a lost art. I mean, you still see it in high school, but pretty much in collegiately and especially in the major leagues, nobody wants to sack bunt anymore. Speaking of that, pitching coach Sam Sutton out to the field quickly as he wants to have a little conversation with Mr. Ramsey. What do you think he's saying there, Coach?
Well, I think Patton got mixed up there. He was expecting a different pitch and almost got by him. And probably another thing, too, is he's talking about this kid at the plate. We've talked about him pitching, but, Stewart hitting .368 with 4 home runs, and you've got a base open. I'm not giving him anything to drive right here.
Yep. You mentioned it, Braden Stewart, the pitcher today, only a junior, batting .368 and pretty much leading them in every offensive statistic. And again, how nice is it to be two runners in scoring position and you're the pitcher?
Absolutely. Got a great chance to help his own cause here.
So one out in the ball game. The number 4 hitter, Braden Stewart, waiting for the first pitch from Ramsey outside. Ball 1.
Yeah, and that's what I was expecting. Make him hit your pitch. If you walk him, then you've got forces in play, and you go to somebody who's not as hot.
Curveball outside, and the count goes to 3-0. And I'm almost thinking right here, I'm just going to say, let's go on down to first base.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
No chance. You got a wild pitch, pass ball scenario. They're going to go, I'm not going to walk him yet.
I'm a little surprised right there that Ryle didn't give him the green light on 3-0, because that was a good pitch to hit.
Yep. So here's the 3-1 pitch. In the dirt. Good scoop by Zane Patton behind the plate. So a free pass given to the number 4 hitter, Braden Stewart, and that'll bring up Jacob Stone. Jacob is a senior second baseman for the Raiders from Ryle High School, batting .364 on the season, and a golden opportunity here with one out. Put the ball in play, keep it out of the middle. Third baseman's playing in a little bit. Ethan Miracle over at first base is conceding a run, so Scott County seems to be happy, unless it's a hard shot to the third baseman, giving a run up here. And you got to love this if you're a hitter right here. All you got to do is just get the ball in play pretty much as a run on the ground in the infield.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about with Ramsey, though. Now, bases juice. He gave up a couple hits, and now he's struggling to throw strikes. Now it's 2-0. No place to put him. Got to come at the hitter.
That's a tough spot. And, he's probably lost a little bit of confidence because he has struggled to hit the plate. And the times he's thrown it over the plate, they got those back-to-back singles to lead off the ball game. Uh-oh. If Patton thinks a little bit quicker right there.
Yeah,
Nathan Reed kind of misbroke on that one.
Yeah, they missed an opportunity there. I think Patton was surprised that he was halfway down the line and then hesitated on the throw. Shaking that hand, though, he may, blocking that ball up.
Yep.
He may have got a thumb.
So 3 balls, no strikes. Not looking good for Scott County to start off here in the top of the first inning. That pitch is in the dirt as well. And a runner is in. The worst RBI to give up right there is a walk that allows a run to score. First run of the ball game for the Raiders of Ryle High School. No rest for the weary right here. First pitch, pop up. Grisby is calling for it out at the shortstop spot. Two hands it.
Boy, and Scott County couldn't ask for anything better right there. You get a pop up in the infield, not giving up a run, and now you got to force it any bag. Let your pitcher come right at him.
Yep. Second out.
And you're facing a kid who, up to this point, is not tearing it up, but.
Yep, T.J. Shira, the third baseman, up to the plate for the Raiders, are batting from the left-hand side. First pitch strike.
That's exactly what Ramsey had to have. Get on top right here.
Two outs here in the top of the first inning. Runners full on the base path for the Raiders from Ryle High School. Golden opportunity missed right there on that pop-up. Handled by Grigsby out at shortstop. 1-1 pitch is low. Count goes to 2-1.
It's a huge pitch right here, Mike.
Yep.
You get down 3-1.
Pitch is in the dirt. 3-1. And again, we're not trying to pick on Connor Ramsey. It's just something you have to learn. Something you have to get comfortable with. Then the second walk.
Well, and there's no doubt about that. I've been there myself, being a former pitcher, and especially when there's runners on, and you start feeling it, and it just seems like that strike zone is as big as a teacup.
Yep. Now batting is the eighth hitter, Charles West, the right fielder. Batting .417. First pitch is a ball. I think if he can just get through this inning somehow, he might get a chance to settle down. That happens.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot at the high school level.
Absolutely. That was a good pitch there. Ooh.
Yep. Mr. Umpire might have forgot he was at a high school game there for a second. That pitch looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was a strike.
But as they say, they never ask our opinion. 2-0 pitch, picking off close play out there. If Miracle could got the tag down a little bit quicker. Bradley calls him safe. Bradley, the base umpire today. Not for sure who the home plate umpire is yet. We'll try to get that for you. 3-0 pitch. Another walk in here. I don't think they have anybody warming up in the bullpen yet. So 3 runs in for the Raiders from Ryle High School. And all 3 have been walked in. First pitch there was a strike.
Yeah, this early in the game, you're really hoping he can just work out of it. His arm's live. He's got good stuff.
Foul ball straight back. Count goes 0-2. 2 outs here. Big pitch. Fouled right back. And again, you can tell we're old veterans. We didn't even try to catch it. We just tried to get out of the way.
Yeah, I used to do that there for a while over at third base in the coaching box, and now I just let it go by me.
Yeah,
I like that pitch right there, high and up. Made him go after it. He did a nice job of fouling it up.
Yeah, good job by Zane Patton. That one was a little bit even more higher.
He was climbing the ladder, and it did almost get away from Zane. But I don't mind that pitch at all, and we'll see if he comes back with a breaker, or I'd like to see a fastball. right on the outside part, but we'll see what he comes with. Curveball high.
So the count goes 2-2, 2 outs. Deuces on the scoreboard. 3 runs in already for the Raiders from Ryle High School in the top of the first inning. Connor Ramsey trying to get through it right here, and here's the 2-2 pitch. Number. It's going to be a tough play by the third baseman Lopez. Up and a little bit too late. So an infield single off the bat of Jackson McGinnis brings in the 4th run of the ball game for Ryle High School, and the bases remain full.
That's a tough break for Ramsey there. He gets the pitch he wants, saws him off, and there's just not enough there to get it to the third baseman, and he beats it out. But credit to him for battling there with 2 strikes and then hustling down the line.
And probably if it's not 2 outs on the board, that's probably an easier play, but Aiden Lopez is playing deep.
Yep.
So back to the top of the lineup. They've already rolled the lineup over. That's a score bookkeeper's nightmare. But Nathan Reed singled and scored the first run of the ball game. That one's a little bit clear of the catcher. Nobody is able to advance out at third base. TJ Shira decides not to chance it.
Such a tough read there. You know, that ball was inches from hitting the brick, which would have bounced right back to the catcher. Instead, it hits the net and it just falls down. He decided, you know, to stay. In hindsight, I know he thinks right there he should have gotten in and gotten him another run.
So Scott County finally has someone up in the bullpen. I'm guessing, I think it was Trey Courtney, but not 100% sure of that. We'll try to see if we can get that number for you. But from our vantage point, it's hard to see the home team's dugout, our bullpen area, because it's right behind the dugout, or the dugout is in view. And Toby Murray, like a good cameraman, takes the hint, takes a couple of steps and sees what he can see, but he doesn't have his glasses on, Sam, or Scotty. So the 2-0 pitch is in for strike 1. Count goes to 2-1 here. Scott County down early, 4-0 to the Raiders from Ryle High School. Here's the 2-1 pitch, high. And what's the impact that you see a pitcher struggling from the hitter's perspective, Coach?
Well, you know that you can sit there and wait on the perfect pitch because he's not hitting corners. And then as soon as I say that right there, I felt like that Reed went a little out of the zone and chased that, you know, on a 3-1 count. But I'm sure he's thinking, you know, I got a hit last time up the middle. I want to stay hot.
Yep. So here's the payoff pitch. Runners will be off on the pitch. Fouled off, straight back, staying alive. Count remains full.
Man, Reed has just been outstanding in this first inning.
Yes, he has.
First at bat, he battled, and then, you know, drove that ball up the middle. And then right there was a good 3-2 pitch, and he did enough to foul it off.
So the count's full. Here's the payoff pitch. Line drive. Fair down the right field line. Runners are off. Nathan Reed at second. He's going for 3. We'll see the play as the ball comes into Miracle. He catches it and falls to the ground. But a 3 RBI triple for Nathan Reed as he makes an early play for the player of the game, just a half an inning into the ball game. So runs number 5, 6, and 7 into score for the Raiders from Ryle High School. And just like that, Coach Willard's out talking to Connor, and not the start that Connor Ramsey wanted to see, but I'm sure he'll regroup and into the ball game for the Cardinals of Scott County. Looks like it is going to be Courtney Reed, or Trey Courtney, I'm sorry. Trey Courtney's pitched in 2 ball games, started 1, 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, all of those earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 1-0 record, and a 2.62 ERA for Mr. Courtney.
And, you know, we talked a little bit about Connor's struggles with finding the zone, but you got to give Ryle credit. I mean, there was several times in the first where he had 2 strikes and threw terrific pitches, and they fouled it off, and then on the next pitch was able to get a hit. You know, Reed doing that twice in the leadoff spot. So credit Ryle for battling at the plate.
And Coach Willard pretty much had no other option right there.
He did. You're right. I mean, you want to give that starting pitcher, just like you said, a lot of times after the first they can settle in. But at this point, you know, you got to give your team a chance. You need to get an out right here and then come in, regroup, talk to your players and say, hey, we still have 21 outs. We're not going to win it in one at-bat. Let's try to get a run or two here, go back out, play defense, and then just, you know, peck away as the innings unfold.
Yeah, and if you're a Scott County fan, you have to look at it, to be honest, down 7 runs and Braden Stewart on the mound for Ryle with that .61 ERA. But anything's possible and a lot of ball game left.
Seeing a lot of curveballs out of Courtney here warming up. I guess that's his go-to pitch.
And while we're talking here, just in general, what's the impact of a lot of walks due to your defensive players as well?
Well, it's effective because if you're not throwing strikes, then they tend to put that hand on the hip sometimes as opposed to, you know, being ready on every play. You know, you like a pitcher who is just pounding that zone because you know whether they get them, you know, strike them out or, you know, the other team's going to hit a ball right at you. When you're seeing a lot of balls, then they tend to lose focus.
So here's the first pitch from Courtney. Off of the elbow. And I've been wanting to institute a rule. I was going to ask you about it. If you wear protective padding and you get hit by the baseball on your protective pad, I think it should just be a ball.
Well, you know, and lately I have seen umpires do way more where, you know, no, you didn't try to get out, you were leaning in or whatever the case may be. You used to never see that.
Yep.
But that was a curveball right there. He started him off with a curve and just he keeps coming back with the all-speed stuff, so obviously that's his go-to.
Yeah. But right there, and I'm not saying the hitter tried to get hit, but that's a curveball, and he's got that protective pad on right on the elbow.
Right.
That didn't even hurt. Off on the pitch. Nice throw from Zane Patton, but nobody wanted to catch it.
And a run scores. You know, I think that was the right play. You know, you've got 2 outs, go ahead and throw the guy out, but when it got by, they were able to score that 8th run.
And that's one of those, I hate to give Zane Patton the air because that ball was right on the bag, but none of the fielders were out there to catch it. So I'm going to mark an error in the book. I don't know who I'm going to give it to yet. And I hate to do it, but you got to give it to the catcher. But that was a perfect throw. So run number 8 of the inning for the Raiders from Ryle High School. So now the plate, Josh Furtado, the shortstop. Good swing right there.
It was, yeah. 3-1 count. Knew he had to come.
And the other thing, too, when you get a big lead, it's a lot easier to hit. You can free swing. You don't have to be so nervous about trying to find that first run or that second run or the tying run. Swing and a miss. Good job by Courtney. Comes in. First strikeout of the ball game for the 3rd out of the inning. So the damage is done. Ryle in the inning. They wound up scoring a total of 8 runs. In those 8 runs, it took 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 1 Scott County error and 2 runners left on base. So through 1 inning, Scott County finds himself behind. The score is 8-0. Back after this.
In Bird's Nest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Green's Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Well, welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Scotty Sutton, and Toby Murray. And, we were talking about during the break, we're not trying to be critical of Connor Ramsey. I still think Coach Willard has a lot of trust in him. And the fact that he let him stay out there and try to work out of it shows me that he has a lot of trust in him, and I think his players do too.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, everybody has had, bad night on the mound. I've certainly been there. And you could see that he's got good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the unfortunate part of it was, he made some good pitches, and Ryle was just, they were putting a bat on the ball, and it was finding a hole. They're early, the first two guys, if you remember, ground ball that just happened to get in the 6 hole.
Yep. Ground
ball up the middle. And, if that ball is right to the shortstop or right to the third baseman, then, his confidence is getting a little high. And, okay, nobody's on. I got 2 outs, and it just never seemed to get there for him.
Yeah, and the little number to third base where he was playing deep.
Absolutely, with 2 outs, yeah.
So, again, the thing about it is if you're going to pitch at any level, even as a youngster, you got to have a short memory.
No doubt about that.
But Scott County's going to lead off with Zane Patton batting .317, catching. Defensive lineup for the Ryle Raiders: Landon Sawyer out in left field, Nathan Reed in center, Charles West over in right, TJ Shira at third, Josh Furtado the shortstop, Jacob Stone the second baseman, Jackson McGinnis, Brandon Weiss catching, and on the bump is Braden Stewart. First pitch is the ball. 6 games pitched for Stewart. Only 1 start, 23 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, both of those earned, 10 walk, 40 strikeouts, and the impressive .61 ERA. A 3-0 record, but 2-0 in the count here.
There might be something in the water, Mike. Yep. Another 3-0 count here.
Well, here's the most important thing I know. If I were to ask you, what's the one thing that he needs to do for the rest of this ball game?
Well, you got to throw strike. When you've got an 8-0 lead,
yep,
you're going to let them, swing the bat.
Yep.
And if they get a run here or there, that's fine, but you're going to make them earn it, and you don't want to have free passes. That's the last thing you want. You're going to trust in yourself and trust in your defense. And
yep, swing and a miss, and the count full up. Yeah, and I always used to, the conversation I would have is, we don't need a no-hitter from you now.
That's right.
Foul straight back. Patton stays alive. So starting the ball game, they were going to allow on that .61 ERA, but they don't need that right now. They just need strikes and contact. Here's the payoff pitch outside. And like you say, we need to check the water. As Zane Patton gets a free pass, that'll drop us down to Chase Grigsby, the senior shortstop, batting .233. And a lot of multiple sport athletes, Chase Grigsby, basketball and baseball. You got a lot of football players, Campton Martin, Zane Patton, Zaxton Saylor, Andrew Wilhite, Ethan Miracle, Paul Garner. So pretty much 2 sport athletes here at Scott County, and you got to love that.
Yeah.
So Patton over at first base. Strike down the middle of the plate to Chase Grigsby.
The staff tells me Grigsby is a true winner, Mike.
Yep. I've seen him grow up out here. Out here supporting with the family, supporting his older brother. And sister as well. Pitch is inside. No throw rule on that one. So they kind of conceded that stolen base. Almost a catcher's indifference there, but we'll go ahead and be nice. So the count's 1-2 to Chase Grigsby. I mentioned Chase's brother and sister, Cody Grigsby, former pitcher, left-handed pitcher for Scott County, and Lauren Grigsby. Pretty good athlete in her own right.
Yeah. A little bit of confusion here between catcher and pitcher with man on second.
Ooh. That's one of those that are hauling the dugout to wear it, but I think that would have been an ugly wear if he'd put that on.
That would have been in the helmet. There's no doubt about that.
So the count's full. Zane Patton out at second base. Chase Grigsby with the number to the third baseman. Up quickly with it is Shira. Over to the first baseman, Jackson McGinnis. And Zane Patton is able to get over to third base. But 5-3 in the scorebook if you're keeping score. And that'll bring up Campton Martin, the center fielder, hitting .372 for the Cardinals of Scott County. And I kind of like those gray uniforms that Scott County
they're
is
sweet.
wearing today.
They are. But, Mike, that was it may not seem like it at 8-0, but that was a big payoff pitch by Stewart there. You walk that guy and suddenly there's 2 on, and it gives Scott County a chance to start making some noise in the dugout.
Yep.
So to come back right there and make Grigsby earn it and get a ground ball is something you had to have.
Count even up at 1-1. Campton Martin's a good-looking athlete.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1.
He played both ways on the football team, hitting in the 3-hole for the baseball team. And that may not seem like a lot playing both ways, but at a big school, they don't do that a lot here. You're usually playing one or the other. So score a lot of touchdowns and make a lot of tackles from the defensive back spot.
Yeah, and pretty much Coach McKee, you have to be a really special athlete for him to allow you to play both ways. He's been doing that for the last 10 years or so as the program has continued to grow. Can't lay off the high fastball there.
Yeah, he chased that. He's disappointed in himself there. He knew that was out of the zone.
So now the number 4 hitter, the designated hitter, junior Luke Colvin, batting .279 for Scott County.
Number 11, Luke Colvin.
Luke needs to do the job right here, figure out a way to get that run in, get that 0 off the board for Scott County. As you can hear in the broadcast, a little bit of a wind noise. Pitch is outside. Ball 1. Zane Patton down at third base for Scott County. Here's the 1-0 pitch outside as well. He keeps looking at that spot out there.
Yeah, Stewart seems to be frustrated right now with himself and with the mound and keeps digging out holes. And
whatever he did, he fixed it on that pitch.
Yeah, he seemed to relax a little bit. He was kind of fighting himself those first 3 pitches. Really, none of them were even close. There, he just kind of relaxed and said, here you go.
Yep. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside as well. And another free pass.
We've seen a bunch of them on both sides.
Yep. Now Paul Garner, the second baseman, hitting .184 on the season, is up for Scott County as we have runners on the corner. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch is high.
Paul, one of the few sophomores out here.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ball hit out the right field. Trying to get to it is Charles West. He does one of my pet peeves, catches it one-handed, but he makes the catch. And Scott County strands runners at first and third, so they have no runs, no hits, no errors, leaving 2 runners on base. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the second inning. You're watching birdsnestsports.com I'm Mike Ritchie with Scotty Sutton and Toby Murray back right after this.
Bluegrass Orthopedics, we are constantly striving to be on the cutting edge of practice and technology. This is why we're the first in the area to acquire the Stryker Mako robot to assist our physicians in knee surgeries. The Stryker Mako robot is the pioneer of robotics in orthopedic surgery and has the industry-leading experience in orthopedic robotics. This allows our doctors to be more precise and allows you to recover faster and with less pain. Bluegrass Orthopedics and Bluegrass Specialty Surgical Center, serving athletes of all ages.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray, and after one inning in the books, you can see the recap coming up here. In the first inning, Ryle has 8 runs on 4 hits. Scott County got 2 runners on base, but stranded them at the corners, first and third. No runs, no hits, no errors for Scott County. Correction, 1 error for Scott County. But 1 inning in the book, Coach. What's your thoughts after 1 complete?
Well, you hate early in the game to give up a number like that. Just kind of deflates the team, and then to come back in and really not get anything on the board. It'd be huge right here to get a 1-2-3, and then they start thinking to themselves, all right, listen, we still got a lot of game to play. That's what your leaders should be saying.
Yep.
There's a lot of game to play. We know how to play this game. Let's go out here, let's get some outs, and then we'll come in and start scratching some runs. And then, just as you had mentioned, if you get the score closer, well, then they're not relaxing as much on the other side, to where they can just go up there and free swing. And so let's hope that Courtney can find the zone here and get ahead.
So leading off is Braden Stewart. He walked first time up, first pitch swinging. Is Braden Stewart. And Trey Courtney on the mound for Scott County, came in relief. Got him out of the inning. That pitch is fouled straight back. Hopefully it's over our head and not on our head.
We're in good shape. I tell you, he hung that one a little bit, Mike. With a kid like Stewart, you don't want to hang that breaker.
Yep.
I like that pitch right there. That's, for him, the fastball is not his go-to pitch.
Right.
But I felt like that was the right thing to do there because he had thrown 2 curveballs. And, Stewart leads his team in home runs. And if you get that ball up, and that wind is gushing out to left field.
Yes, it is.
Right
I was going to say, if anybody has a heater and they want to bring it up to us, it's a little bit chilly with that wind. And just like that, though.
Outstanding pitch.
Courtney gets his second strikeout of the ball game, first out in the inning. Now Jacob Stone to the plate. He walked as well.
Ooh.
First pitch swinging.
That's trouble.
He got a hold of that one. And all he can do out there is Jackson Sailor. Watch that thing sail out of the ballpark. Home run for Jacob Stone. And like I say, Coach, he got his money's worth on that one.
He did, and we were just talking about that. He just got that breaking ball up, and when you get it in the wheelhouse right there, and you get the ball up, especially on a day like today, it's going to be trouble.
So next up is Nathan Belden. The designated hitter flew out to the shortstop with the bases loaded his first time up for the second out of the inning. Here's Courtney. 1 out here. 9th run of the ball game. 5th hit for Ryle. Good foul ball duty there by number 25 for Ryle. Let me get his number, give him some love. Parker Coop, or Cop. One of the two. It would have to be a name that there was some indecision about how to pronounce it. So 1-2 the count here to number 5, Nathan Belden. Pitch outside. Count evens up to 2-2.
That's a good spot. You know what I like about Trey is he works fast. I like that in a pitcher that gets in a rhythm and just keeps going.
Off-speed pitch, can't lay off of it. Third strikeout of the ball game for Mr. Courtney. Now we'll go to the third baseman, T.J. Shira. Walked and scored in the first.
Now batting number 6, T.J. Shire.
Shira, excuse me, I called him Shira. Not very good.
I'm gonna go with your pronunciation.
Toby's looking at me going, I told you it was Shira. So we apologize. We're doing the best we can. Foul ball, a fly ball out the right or left field. Jackson Saylor picks it up on the line, trying to stretch it into two, and the throw's a little bit off angle, so a sliding double for Mr. Shira.
Now at number 4, Charles West.
And that'll bring up Charles West. Sixth hit of the ball game for Ryle. Charles West walked and scored as well in that first inning. Fly ball. Campton Martin on the run. Paul Garner going back from the second base spot. He decides to make the play. So a nice play right there by the Scott County sophomore Paul Garner to end the inning. So Ryle only able to score one run. We'll take a timeout, come back for the bottom of the second on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests in our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray. Glad to be here with you today. A great ball game and a lot better inning for Scott County if you're a Scott County fan, right, Scotty?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I think Trey is probably kicking himself for the one home run because other than that, even the hit was, a bloop over the third baseman's head. So he was working fast. He was throwing strikes. I know his defense would appreciate that. Now they just need to come up here and scratch a couple of runs and go from there. You're not going to get 8 or 9 runs in one swing.
Yep.
So
leading off for Scott County, the right fielder, number 1, Andrew Wilhite. On deck is Ethan Miracle. In the 3 spot is Aiden Lopez. First 3 batters. Andrew Wilhite goes opposite field, but a line drive shot right to Landon Sawyer, who's playing Andrew perfectly. So a quick, easy out.
That was a nice play by the left fielder because Andrew got good wood on it. And just a tough break for him, but well played by the left fielder.
Ethan Miracle, the first baseman, is next up for Scott County. Outside corner, strike 1 call. One hopper back to the pitcher, Braden Stewart. Drops it, picks it back up, gets it over to McGinnis. And 2 quick outs for Scott County. Now we're up to Aiden Lopez, the third baseman for the Cardinals, batting .214, the junior. And one thing about it, Scott County's got to do something to disrupt him because I don't think you want this guy getting into a rhythm.
I was just going to say he's getting there. Last 2 hitters, he looks relaxed, finding the zone.
Hung that breaking ball a little bit. It comes in high. 9-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 outs.
But right there, Mike, even though that curveball just missed, the way he throws it, that fastball looked so much harder because he was able to, start with a breaker because that was really slow enough, and then, he comes and pounds the fastball after that.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So 3 up, 3 down for Scott County. Second strikeout of the ball game. And a quick bottom of the second inning. And after 2 complete, your score is Ryle 9, Scott County 0. We'll be back right after this.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie along with the coach Scotty Sutton and Toby Murray running the camera for us today, doing a great job as always. If you don't believe it, just ask him. So Mr. Courtney's come in here and kind of silenced the noise a little bit. Only gave up the home run to Jacob Stone in the last inning. But he's kind of right to the ship for Scott County. But it looks like Braden Stewart kind of getting into a rhythm. Oh. So for Ryle, leading off the third inning for the Raiders is Jackson McGinnis. Coach, if I'm batting number 9 and hitting 343, what's going on with that, huh?
Well, it tells you got a good hitting lineup.
There you go. And we talked about it at the softball game. You know, a lot of times you see these 7, 8, and 9 hitters with these good averages. And really, there's an art of putting a kid in the spot in the lineup where he can feel comfortable. And down that lower part of the lineup, you're going to see a lot more fastballs and a lot less change-ups, and a lot of times you see people really strive down in that 7, 8, and 9 spot. So
there's no doubt about that. I can remember back Sam's sophomore year, they had a kid who hit in the 9 hole, and he was absolutely tearing it up. And Coach Willard said, "You know, we want to move you up," and he said, "Absolutely not." I'm seeing too many fastballs right now.
0-2 pitch outside, able to lay off of it, and that's a key right there. You know.
You swallow your pride right there, and if you got, if you can hit the baseball 1 through 9, then you're going to have a great year.
Pop up, miracle underneath of it in foul territory. 2 hands it. So the first out in the inning.
And again, Trey's come in throwing strikes, and other than the one ball, he's really done a great job. This kid here has had a great game, man.
Yes, he has.
Battled both of his hits. We're on 3-2 counts.
First pitch swinging, like you said. Didn't want to see any that time, and it gets over the head of Campton Martin. Kind of got a bad jump out there. But just like that, Nathan Reed with a 1-out double.
Well, he's certainly an early candidate for player of the game. You're
yes,
3 for 3 and a home run away from the cycle.
No pressure there. But
we're just putting it out there. So.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say, if he comes up the next time and hits a home run, he's our player of the game.
No doubt.
We might give it to him in the middle of the game. But Landon Sawyer, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Single in the first, hit by pitch in the first inning as well. Curveball. Can't lay off of it for a strike 1 call. But, you're talking about Nathan Reed and the leadoff hitter. He's almost your prototypical. He's batting from the left side. Saw a lot of pitches in his first 2 times up.
Absolutely.
Now he's had a triple and a double, which shows he can put the ball in play and hit with a little bit of power as well.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He, and the triple, that was with 2 outs, and that really might have been the dagger because it was an bases loaded triple, and
here's the 1-1 pitch. Line past the reaching Aiden Lopez.
And they might get an interference call right there, Mike.
Yeah, I think they're going to think about it, but he has to go home and try to get home. But we're going to talk about it a little bit.
He's going to talk to him because he ran right into the third baseman trying to get there.
Now at bat number 15, Josh Furtado.
Well, they're going to let it go.
So 8 hits in the ball game for the Raiders. First pitch outside, runners on the corner. In the name of Nathan Reed down at third and Landon Sawyer over at first base. Josh Furtado, the shortstop, 0 for 1 in the ball game. And you got to think about it. They scored 8 runs in the first inning, and they gave up one of them on that sac bunt as he tried to get the runners. And he was successful getting the runners over to second and third.
That's right.
Pitches outside. Patton decides to throw it.
Wow.
And they let it go through, and that was a great play right there. The runner knew he was out.
I got to tell you, that was a curveball. And for him to throw him out like that just goes to show what kind of catcher Patton is, because that was an absolute laser to second base.
Yep. I don't know if the runner thought that they were going to cut it off or what, but there's a shot out in the right center or left center field over the head off the wall. As Saylor does a great job playing it off the wall, but a stand-up double and an RBI. That ball got out there in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, from the left side, he just went with the pitch and got it up in that jet stream, and I thought it was out for a second. I think the left fielder did too.
But Jackson Saylor did a great job defensively to get over there quickly and pretty much caught it directly off the wall. But another run in for the Raiders, and that'll bring up Braden Stewart. We talked about him being the best offensive player they've had, and he's probably the only one that hadn't had a hit yet. Curveball outside to even the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, and in fairness, we talked about that first at-bat. Remember, he came up with second and third, and we thought they would kind of stay away from him, and they did, and he stayed disciplined and took the walk.
Looks like they're kind of pitching around him.
They really are, yeah. That's 2 curveballs that were out of the zone, just trying to get him to chase.
Yep.
And again, you've got a base open, so that may be what you're thinking.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed again and in the dirt. The count goes to 3-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning.
I like that pitch call right there. A change up, try to get him to chase, maybe ground it out, but was able to stay off of it.
There's a throwback. Wow. Tell you what, Zane Patton has a strong arm and an even quicker release, doesn't he?
He's got a cannon. That play shouldn't even have been close, and it was.
Yep. 3-2. Here's your count. 2 outs. Josh Furtado out at second base. Mr. Stewart liked that off-speed pitch, and that was a no-doubter. A 2-run home run off the bat of Ryle's pitcher, Braden Stewart.
Well, that was a pitch there on a 3-2 count. You had a base open, and they went with the off-speed, which I liked, but he just hung it. And being the kind of hitter that Stewart has shown he is all year long, he stayed back and was able to drive it. And trust me, the wind didn't need to be blowing for that one.
Yeah, but with the wind blowing, that looked even that much more impressive.
Yeah.
First pitch swinging. Jacob Stone. Now, Coach, I got to be honest. In our younger days, I wouldn't be worried about a ball coming up here for either one of us to catch. But in the current state, I'm going to duck, and hopefully you can catch it.
I got it for you.
There's a number. Good job by Garner over to Miracle to get the Cardinals out of the inning. But Ryle able to do damage. They score 3 more runs. On 4 hits, those Scott County Airs, and leave 1 runner or no runners on base. So through 2.5, Ryle leads the ball game 12-0. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching high school baseball on the birdsnest.com broadcast network. Back after this.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com, and Coach, you and I were talking during the break. You could tell Brandon Stewart had the pitcher's mentality on that full count pitch when he hit that ball over left center, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's a guy who's been in that situation on the hill. A lot of times when you have a base open, you got a guy on second, you got that first base open, you're going to make them hit your pitch, and sometimes you'll throw that breaker. If they walk, so be it. Now you've set up the double play. But you could just tell he was setting on that ball. And but that's just a guy who's a terrific player. I mean, he's had a terrific year so far.
Yep, here's the first pitch from Stewart. Swinging is Jackson Saylor over to right field. A good dive attempt out there by Charles West, but he's unable to pick it up, so we'll give Jackson Saylor the first single, first hit of the ball game for Scott County.
And the Ryle coaches have to be disappointed there. They had the right fielder playing exactly where they wanted, and he struggled a little bit out there. But that was a nice job right there of, again, going with the pitch, not trying to do too much of it, and find yourself on first base with a hit.
Stewart back quickly to Zane Patton. Zane walked and was stranded at third base. His first time up. On deck is Chase Grigsby. Stewart's ready. Rocks and fires. 0-1 pitch. Off to the races is Saylor. Stolen base for Jackson. Got a good jump right there.
He did. I was thinking to myself, I was a little surprised that Coach Willard was being aggressive, down this much. Might want to, you know what I'm saying, try to go base to base, but
a little miscue right there. I'm going to say a wild pitch.
Yeah, that was certainly, again, you get a guy on second base. They've talked about it. They've practiced it. What are we going to do, whether it's +1 on what the catcher is given. But right there you could tell he was absolutely.
The catcher almost went down to his knees waiting for that thing to break into the dirt. Zane Patton right in front of Charles West again. He's like, why is everybody picking on me? But Zane Patton gets his first RBI of the day. Scott County finally dents the score column.
Yeah, with this wind swirling, it is making life difficult.
So Scott County first run of the ball game as Jackson Saylor scores on that RBI single. Off the bat of Zane Patton. And now we'll get to the number 2 hitter, Chase Grigsby, the shortstop. Grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. Patton wanted to go right there and kind of stopped. Braden Vite almost thought about throwing it back there, but decided otherwise. So from the camera view, it looks like a beautiful day out here, but that wind is kind of bringing in the chill factor.
Yeah, it's whipping.
It's one of those weekends during the day. It's awesome. It gets up to about 70, 74 in the afternoon. It gets down to about 30, 35 to 40 in the evening. Patton on the steal attempt is called out. So a great throw there by Braden Weiss. Good coverage out there by Furtado. First out of the inning for Scott County. So they were successful on the steal attempt from Saylor, but Zane Patton called out. 1 out, count 2-1. Here's the pitch. Just outside.
Stewart not happy with that. He's like, come on. What else do you need?
Chase Grigsby kind of give that proverbial automatic, I thought it was a ball, called to strike. How many times have you seen that over the years?
A bunch, but, I actually like the pitch before that better than I like that one.
Yep, 3-1 pitch is in the dirt, so a free pass for Scott County's senior shortstop Chase Grigsby, and he'll hand it back down to Campton Martin, the center fielder. Struck out in his first plate appearance.
And Mike, it doesn't seem like it because we just had somebody thrown out at second, but the first three guys have gotten on base, and Stewart seems to be a little irritated by that.
Yep. And here's the sportsmanship. That ball kind of nicked the home plate umpire, so they're going to have just a little talk out at the pitcher's mound to let the home plate umpire kind of recover. That hit him where you don't want to get hit, I think. He's trying to play it off, but sometimes you just can't. So 1 out, 1 run in for Scott County. Chase Grigsby out at first base for Scott County, and Campton Martin steps into the batter's box. The center fielder batting .372 on the season. First pitch fouls it straight back over our head. Ball in the dirt. Good job of Ice keeping in front of him. And Scotty, I just sitting here looking while we had a kind of a break. The field, Coach Willard has the field in pretty good shape to be this early in the season.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
He's got the stripes going one way in the infield and another way in the outfield. So hats off to him and his staff. Strike 2 the call. Count goes to 1-2 to Scott County's Campton Martin.
It's just a trait. Baseball coaches love to take care of their field. They want it to look nice, and nobody does it better than Scott. I think he gets that if the catcher doesn't rise up right there. That was a good curveball, but the catcher sort of came up out of his stance. If he just sits, then I think it's a good pitch.
Swing and a miss.
Well, in that time, he started that breaker over the middle of the plate, and he got Campton to chase. That was an outstanding pitch.
Yep. 2 outs now for Scott County. Luke Colvin, the junior designated hitter, up next. He walked in the first inning. Perfect off-speed pitch right there.
Yeah. If he starts getting that in for a strike, the way he can throw his fastball, he's going to be difficult to hit.
Yeah. That off-speed pitch probably adds 5 or 6 miles an hour to that fastball.
And right there was an example of it.
Ground ball to Jacob Stone. He flicks it up over to the first baseman, Jackson McGinnis, for the 3rd out of the inning. So Scott County able to finally dent the score column as they get their first run of the ball game. They score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave 1 runner on base. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. 3 innings in the books. Ryle leading Scott County by a score of 12-1. Back right after this.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Green's Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Green's is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Green's strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Green's continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Green's winning team. Green's Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think Green.
Back and forth between Scott County and Great Cross.
Welcome back to the Scott County High School, the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray, and looking at your Recap here. 3 innings complete in the books. Ryle, 12 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Scott County, 1 run, 2 hits in the ball game. So 3 innings in the book. Any thoughts, Coach, after 3 complete?
Well, you've got to give Ryle credit. I mean, they've come in, they've been disciplined at the plate. When it's not there, they've laid off of it, and then they get the walk. If it is there, they've been putting the ball in play, and usually hard. But what I've been most impressed with is how many times with 2 strikes they were able to battle on good pitches and foul it off, and then come back and get a hit. I mean, that's a sign of a good hitting team.
So now batting is Nathan Belden. He takes the first pitch strike, off-speed pitch again from Trey Courtney. 0-1 pitch. Quickly, as you said, Courtney working fast. Chase Grigsby calls everybody off. Give him a put out. And a quick out.
And that's a good job by Chase. It may seem simple, but with the wind swirling, it's in that no man's land. You could hear him clearly even from here, calling for the baseball. Everybody gets away, and he makes a nice catch.
So TJ Shira batting for the Raiders from Ryle High School. Hitting from the left side. Pitch outside. What happened on that?
Well, that's the first time Trey has walked a guy in a few innings. I mean, he's come in throwing strikes, and there he just seemed to, we had talked about him being in a rhythm, and I liked the way he worked fast, but there it just kind of seemed like he threw a ball, and then it was, let me get the ball right back so I can make sure I throw a strike, and he never did get in that rhythm. I think he rushed instead of being in the rhythm that he had been in the last couple of innings.
So 2 quick strikes to Charles West. There's the 0-2 pitch, fouled straight back, staying alive. Line drive to Paul Garner. Is able to try to flip him off and get a double play on the quick flip over to Miracle. So a great job right there. A line drive on a ball well hit to Paul Garner. He's able to go 4-3 to pick off the runner, trying to get back to first base. So 3 up, 3 down the hard way for Scott County that inning. Good job for them. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back right after this.
Your health means everything. That's why we work to help keep you safe when you come to us for care. That's also why it's so important to not delay getting the care that you need. Whether it's an emergency, a checkup, or time for a screening like your annual mammogram, get the care that your health needs now, because your health means everything to us too.
No, yeah, they have.
Yeah, they have. Is that Fruitara?
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. We got a pitching change for the Raiders from Ryle High School. It looks like Josh Furtado is now pitching for the Raiders. You have his pitching stats over there, Coach?
Trying to find him with all this wind, make sure it doesn't blow down the hill.
So we got a new third baseman over there. Looks like number 21. Benson Witt.
Josh has thrown 13 innings, giving up 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned runs, 14 walks, 20 strikeouts. He's 1-2 on the year with a 3.77 ERA.
So it looks like that basically Furtado and
Now at bat number 4, Paul Garner.
is that number 6 or number 8 out at shortstop? I can't really tell. Can you see that?
We'll get Toby on that. I know he's got his binoculars.
We'll get the other lineup changes, but right now we know Josh Furtado is in for Braden Stewart on the bump. So TJ Shearer goes from third base over to shortstop. And I think Andrew Witt is now playing third base, number 21. So we're going to put him in the ball game for Braden Stewart. Strike 3 quickly from Furtado right there.
You know, that was a borderline pitch, but he has been calling that a strike all day long, that low fastball right on the knees. And as a coach, and really as a player, as long as you feel like the umpire is being consistent and you know what he's going to call all day, then you live with it. And that's something that he's called all day.
One thing we talk about being quick and ready to go. Furtado wasting no time. So he finds himself ahead in the count 0-2 to Andrew Wilhite after Paul Garner strikes out looking to lead off the inning.
Nice job right there. Yes. Battling. Andrew had a nice hit last time, just right at the left fielder, but
0-2 here, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball's a little bit low.
Andrew's dad, a terrific athlete at Scott County High School.
Yes, he was. I think he was a 4 or 5.5 sports star. We talked about being a dual athlete.
He did it all, and has been a long-time coach here.
Yes, he has. And he helps out on the broadcast as well. There you go. Hit it right back where it came from. Single off the bat of Andrew Wilhite. That'll drop, hand it back to Ethan Miracle, the first baseman. Ground ball back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning.
We've talked about great at-bats all day, Mike. That was a terrific at-bat by Wilhite. I mean, battling, taking pitches that were close, and then driving it right back up the middle.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Miracle's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. And Wilhite quickly on the wild pitch down to second base. You can hear that wind howling on our field mic we have set up. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off. Back out of play. I don't think Mr. Miracle was happy about that, but I don't think that was intentional at all.
No, he wasn't, but That did have to smart right between the numbers.
So now batting for Scott County, Aiden Lopez. The third baseman struck out in his only plate appearance of the ball game. Runners at first and second for Scott County. First pitch strike taken by Mr. Lopez.
I'm grinning because I think Terry Smith, longtime baseball player himself, was saying, hey, be happy you're on first base.
Yeah. And Miracle's going, I've been over all day, Coach, playing first base. So here's the 1-1 pitch coming from Furtado. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Furtado's got some juice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's
strike
a great
three.
pitch right there.
First strikeout of the ball game. Second strikeout of the ball game for Furtado.
Well, I like that pitch selection right there. He had shown a curveball, but when he got up with two strikes right there, decided to stay with the heat right on the outside part of the plate. That was a outstanding throw.
Jackson Saylor single and scored in the third inning. Couldn't lay off that one. Finds himself behind the count 0-1. Ball in the dirt. Good job right there by Mr. Weiss. Playing the catcher spot just like he was taught. Fouled straight back into your camera view there. A good hustle from Zane Patton. So the count's 1-2 here, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Scott County behind 12-1 to Ryle. Swing and a miss. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Mr. Furtado. So he strikes out the side, and we'll take a timeout. 4 innings in the book. Scott County finds themselves behind 12-1 to Ryle. We'll be back right after this. Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, along with Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray as well. And Coach, through 4 innings right here, looking at the totals. Pretty much all Ryle Raiders up to this point. Ryle, 12 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Scott County, 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. So I don't think I was going to ask you when they took out the pitcher, Braden Stewart. Do you think that was planned, or do you think that was just the result of the score of the ball game, trying to save him for the week?
Yeah, that's my guess. You know, anytime you got a nice lead like that, it's why put more wear and tear on the arm when you feel like you're in command.
Mm-hmm.
And he's certainly been their stud all year. So, hey, we got what we wanted out of him. We feel like we're going to get this win. So let's give him some rest.
Yeah. And I think Scott County needs to do. The ball game's not over here. Scott County, I've seen a lot of teams be down by double digits in the 4th, 5th inning and come back and win a ball game. But Scott County, most importantly right here, Trey Courtney has to do his job and not allow Ryle to score any more runs. And if Trey can do that, come in. Scott County's the first thing they need to do is make sure they score 2 runs to extend the ball game. But then after they score 2, you never can tell. First pitch swing, fouled straight back. Nice to see the new lights out here, Coach, isn't it?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Now, if you look at them, you say they're not going to light this field, but the way they're situated is he fouls another one straight back. Gary Powers, longtime worker for the Parks and Recreation Department, didn't see that one coming. There's an off-speed pitch. Grigsby's going to be able to field it. Can he get enough on it? And the answer is no. Good pickup by Grigsby, but no way he's going to make that play. And just like that.
Well,
is that a new batter for them coming up? Number 21's out there for him on first base.
Yeah.
Vincent Witt.
And that last 0-2 pitch, you could see the frustration in the staff, and Trey knows that he just got too much of the plate right there. You want to make sure they're hitting your pitch, they're chasing, and he's done a great job so far of throwing strikes, but that's actually one where you don't want to throw a strike.
Yeah. New batter up here for the Raiders from Ryle High School. We'll get that number for you here in a second. And they helped me out, said it's number 12. So that's all I need to do. It's Landon Burnett.
Well, we're not going to see that possible cycle by Reed.
Nope. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Courtney. A little bit high. On deck, Landon Sawyer. Vincent Witt. Down at first base. Had the hit into the 6 hole. Grigsby was able to knock it down, but wasn't able to get very much on the throw. So here's the 1-2 pitch on its way. Popped up. Out of play. Ball in the dirt. Wild pitch. Gets Vincent Witt down to second base, and the count goes to 2-2 to the pinch hitter Landon Burnett. The pitch is outside as well.
Well, we had just talked about the previous hitter. He got too much on that 2-strike pitch, and now I think he's trying to be too fine.
Yep.
But got him to chase right there.
Patton up with the throw over to Miracle. And while that happened, Vincent Witt is able to go down to third base. So a strikeout for Mr. Courtney.
Now at bat, number 16, Landon Sawyer.
It's the 4th strikeout for Courtney. First out of the inning.
Well, Patton does a great job back there.
Yes, he does.
He has blocked up so many balls.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Landon Sawyer. Hits it out to center field. Campton Martin is able to get underneath of it, but sac fly if you're scoring.
Number 15, Josh Furtado.
Second out of the inning.
And if you're Sawyer, you're a little disappointed because you hit that ball well, but he did what he had to do, get the run in.
Yep, run number 13 for Ryle. Nice shot there by Furtado. It gets past the reach of Ethan Miracle.
That ball was lasered by Furtado. That's stayed back nicely there.
Yep. So Braden Stewart in to hit for
think Stewart was thinking one thing right there, and he was trying to follow up that last home run.
Yes, he was. Pop up, Ethan Miracle underneath of it in foul territory and makes the play. So Courtney only gives up one, gives Scott County a chance, but Scott County has to score some runs right here if they want to extend this ball game. We'll take a timeout and come back and see what they can do in the bottom of the 5th inning. Back right after this on the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network.
Oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County.
Welcome back to the birdsnestsports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Scotty Sutton, Toby Murray here. Glad to be bringing this ball game to you. And Josh Furtado trying to hold the Cardinals scoreless right here to win a ball game in 5 innings for Ryle. Scott County, on the other hand, they've got to figure out a way to get 3 runs here, Coach.
They do. They got the top of the order up, and, you know, it's the 3rd time around. So you hope Zane and these guys, you know, we used to say it back in our old days all the time, just pass the bat.
Yep. We'll have a player of the game presentation. This player of the game will be sponsored by Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Dr. Rob Henderson. I'd like to shout out to him, and also Art Morvay and Lynn Reeves of Scott County Physical Therapy. The 2 main sponsors for our experiment here in the spring, trying to bring you baseball and softball action on the internet for both Scott County and Great Crossing. So check out birdsnestsports.com. And Zane Patton hits that one pretty good, but a good jump out there by the center fielder, Nathan Reed.
Outstanding play by the center fielder right there. I thought that was getting in the gap for sure, and he ran it down.
And there's the thing. We're talking about him being the player of the game for his offensive perspective, and his prowess at the leadoff spot. But nice looking play out there by the center fielder.
What year is he, Mike?
He is a senior.
I wonder where he's going. He's certainly has the tools.
So Chase Grigsby with 1 out for the Cardinals. (13-1) is the score here. Ryle able to jump out early and get 8 runs in that first inning, and that pretty much changed the whole perspective and the dynamic of the game. And Ryle, it's baseball's weird, Coach, and I know you've coached for a lot of years, but Ryle comes out for Somerset and has a hard time and struggles scoring runs. They score a couple late there. Then they come out in this ball game, put up 8 spot in the first inning, and the dynamics of the game changed.
It really is. It's well, we talked about it. It's, you know, how they had their best pitcher on the mound to get things rolling, and anytime you do that, you got a great chance to win.
So Campton Martin trying to keep the rally alive. Chase Grigsby does his job. He gets that base hit and hands it back. Just missed that
right
one
there. Yeah, it was a good swing. Campton's a little frustrated with his at-bats earlier, but be nice to see him get a nice hit here just to, you know, going into that next game, get his confidence back up.
Couldn't lay off that one. The count 0-2. 2 strikeouts already for Mr. Martin.
And we talked about how it's just such a, baseball's such a mental game. And you can tell right now that Campton is struggling a little bit, but we know what kind of player he is. I mean, everybody goes through a little bit of a slump here and there, but he'll be back for sure.
Tell you what, 2 outs now for Scott County, but out of the 5 outs faced, 4 of those have been strikeouts for TJ Furtado. So we talked about Braden Stewart being the ace. I don't think Mr. Furtado is very far behind.
No, he's thrown well.
Luke Colvin now batting for Scott County. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Scott County needing a little bit of help right here. They're down 13-1. They got to figure out a way to score 3 runs here with 2 outs. We're going to have our Player of the Game award presentation. That's brought to you by Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. So Colvin, 2-1 the count. This ball game wraps up and we have time. We'll pack everything up and see if we can get over to the Great Crossing County Park. Chance to bring Scott County and mercy. Throwing back on Grigsby, able to get back there in time. Pitch is called a strike. The count goes to 2-2.
Well, we talked about it earlier. When you got a lead like this, you don't want to walk anybody. You just want to throw strikes and say, okay, let my defense play.
That is correct. Colvin, kind of a protective swing right there.
That was a tough pitch. Down and in, fastball hard.
Ball in the dirt and count goes full. So, Coach, I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. My player of the game, unless Scott County comes back and is able to win, it's going to be Nathan Reed, the center fielder. Had a single, 3 RBI triple, a double.
And just had an outstanding play in the field, running down a ball I thought for sure was a double. There's no doubt he deserved the outstanding player of the game today.
And now Paul Garner up for the Cardinals. 2 outs. Grigsby down at second base. Colvin over at first base, and Paul Garner, the second baseman for Scott County, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Hit that one pretty good. Nathan Reed underneath of it. He's going to make the play, and that's going to be your ball game.
And that's fitting for our player of the game to run down another ball in the gap and end it.
So Ryle's going to win the ball game. Your final score is going to be Ryle 13, Scott County 1. We're going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Our player of the game is going to be Nathan Reed from Ryle High School. We're going to try to pack things up, get over and call this last ball game softball-wise. Scott County is going to be playing Mercer at 3 o'clock. Hopefully you'll get a chance to join us. We might be set up a little bit late, but we're going to give it a shot. Thanks for listening. From our partner, Scott Sutton, from our cameraman extraordinaire, Toby Murray. Thanks for joining us. Check back at birdsnestsports.com for all the future games here on the internet. Have a good one.